The wave of new migrants at the border soon will be addressed by active duty Defense Department personnel. President Biden giving that order now.
All this is part of attempts to ease the stress caused by thousands of people entering the country every day. Meanwhile, one small Texas city has issued an emergency declaration after migrants coming from Mexico have flooded that town.
ABC's Matt Rivers with how this new surge continues to overwhelm resources.
Overnight, the Biden administration saying it's taking new action to handle situations like this. Thousands of migrants arriving daily at the U.S. southwest border. This group just a small part of the roughly 7,000 people local officials say have crossed into the small town of Eagle Pass, Texas. And now the administration says it's sending a surge of active duty Department of Defense personnel to the border, including 800 active duty members, in addition to the 2,500 already deployed to assist Customs and Border Protection. This as the number of migrant crossings has spiked in recent weeks. This train carrying hundreds of migrants arriving just south of El Paso, Texas, near Ciudad Juarez. They braved the journey just one day after officials had temporarily shut down those trains after a half dozen migrant deaths were reported. With so many migrants arriving to the border, NGOs and local resources are strained, forcing Border Patrol to release thousands of migrants onto the streets here in San Diego County. This man from Colombia gets emotional when we asked him what he was thinking.
He says he's here now and that was his goal, but he had to leave his family behind. Obviously, that's hard.
Every migrant we spoke to here looking for a better life, but they are making life harder for local officials. Overburdened and underfunded, many local border communities on the front lines of immigration, a federal issue, some with a message for Washington politicians.
This isn't a political situation. This is not a left or right issue. This is an immigration system that has failed.
On the campaign trail, candidates are weighing in. Shortly before announcing his new energy policy, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sat down with our Lindsey Davis in Midland, Texas. The governor suggesting it may be necessary to send the military to the border.
As commander-in-chief, you have to defend your people, and you have to ensure the territorial integrity of your country. Right now, we have the drug cartels are controlling parts of our border more so than our own U.S. government. That will change when I become president. We'll make sure we're defending the country.
Now, as for why we're seeing this spike in migrant crossings, it's really a mixture of several things, including the easing of peak summer temperatures, an increase in human smuggling activity, and just the simple fact that a record number of migrants are already on the move in this part of the world. Matt Rivers, ABC News in San Isidro on the U.S.-Mexico border.
That sound now a familiar part of life in Ukraine. In fact, people in the country's capital have now heard more than 1,000 hours worth of sirens. Kyiv passed the 1,000-hour mark today when air raid alarms sounded. That came as Russian troops launched an air attack that lasted a couple of hours. And as the fighting in that country continues, the Ukrainian president is set to return to Capitol Hill. This will be the second visit since Russia invaded his country.
Now to the latest on the potential government shutdown. Still no deal for a spending bill to keep the government running as the clock ticks down to a deadline. However, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says Republicans are inching toward a proposal to avoid that government shutdown. McCarthy's latest plan would reportedly fund the government for 30 days with some spending cuts, establish a debt commission, and enact stricter border policies. After months-long stalemate, the Senate is making some progress with military promotions. Yesterday, the Senate confirmed the nomination of General C.Q. Brown as the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville has been holding up votes over his opposition to a Defense Department policy. That policy reimburses travel costs for service members who would go across state lines to seek an abortion. The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer went around Tuberville by voting for single promotions at a time instead of at a large group. The Senate is still set to vote on the new Army Chief of Staff and the new Marine Corps Commandant later today.
Taking a look outside with live cam, a couple clouds, but not yet 90 degrees. We're good with this. And you know, you get me down into the low 70s at night, all is well at my house.
I'm not making promises, but it's looking a little bit better for that potential to get a little bit cooler.
Come on, microphone.
Here we
There
go.
it is.
We're back. My apologies. Yes, some low 70s are possible as we get later into next week. We got to get past the weekend, though. It's still going to be very hot through Sunday before our next storm system moves in. I want to show you the temperatures and the heat index as it stands right now. If you're going outside, know that, yeah, the temperatures are in the 80s, but it feels hotter than that. It's 91 here in San Antonio, 96 in Bulverde, 98 in New Braunfels. That's the feels like number. And this is going to be a problem next couple of days because not only will it be hot, it will also be very humid. So know that the heat index could likely jump above 100 today. And we'll probably see that again tomorrow, too. So Friday night football, Thursday night football, drink lots of water. Try to stay in the shade if you're going to some of those games. Satellite picture shows, yes, we do have some cloud cover. It's starting to fade a little bit here across San Antonio. We're noticing more cumulus clouds east of town, none of which are producing any rain. That's not the case up in West Texas, where we're seeing some showers up around Lubbock, stretching down to San Angelo and Fort Stockton. But none of this rain is going to make it into our area. It's basically going to stop right about there because we have that high pressure that's nudging in. It's kind of keeping everything away from us. Here's our forecast for today. 97 at 4 o'clock, 98 is what we're shooting for this afternoon. Hopefully we don't get there, but it's looking like it will be a very hot afternoon. 95 at 7 o'clock, 93, 8 p.m. down to 90 at 9 o'clock and into the 80s tonight. So once the football games are wrapping up, it'll feel okay. But the start of those games, it will be very, very toasty, guys.
Thank you, Justin. As artificial intelligence technology continues to grow, so does the threat it poses to some industries. And now book writers are upset. Why novelists are now suing a company behind a well-known chatbot.
A new lawsuit targeting the company behind ChatGPT.
It's a group of prominent authors. They are suing the AI pioneer. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis explaining why they're accusing it of copyright infringement.
When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
A Game of Thrones erupting over the rights to some of the most popular works in the world.
Winter is coming.
George R.R. Martin and more than a dozen other authors now suing OpenAI, creator of ChatGPT. Martin joining forces with authors like Jodi Picoult, John Grisham, Ellen Hilderbrand, Michael Connolly, and David Baldacci to take on the AI giant, claiming it used their books to train its ChatGPT bot without their permission and without compensation.
My son said, "Hey, Dad, come over here." When he put in a request to ChatGPT, there were 3 pages. It sounded like a lot of books that I'd written with names of characters that I'd used in the past. And I thought, oh my God, I feel so violated. It was like someone had just taken my entire library without my knowing it.
The lawsuit filed with the Authors Guild claims that OpenAI reproduced copyrighted books without the author's consent to train ChatGPT, allowing it to produce derivative works, material that's based on, mimics, summarizes, or paraphrases the author's work and harms the market for them.
If you can automate this, then you can pretty much automate everything, and no one will have a reason to get up out of bed anymore. And it just feels like an existential threat to everything that makes us human.
Before you can win, you gotta act like you can win, which means you gotta believe you can win.
Michael Connolly, the best-selling author of The Lincoln Lawyer, now a hit Netflix series, says he's ready for battle.
You kind of feel like a little bit like a David versus a Goliath in this, but we're going to fight the good fight.
OpenAI responding to the lawsuit, saying in a statement, "We respect the rights of writers and authors and believe they should benefit from AI technology and are working to understand their concerns."
These class actions are the beginning of many, many lawsuits. We saw this in the music industry when Napster came along, and there were a lot of lawsuits around peer-to-peer sharing. And then ultimately, Apple and Spotify and Amazon came along, and they ended up licensing the works.
Outside of a life, it's still one of my all-time favorite lines. Winter is coming.
Oh.
I wish.
Winter is coming, and so is fall in 2 days.
I mean, it will. It will. That's a fact. It's just we don't know if Mother Nature's going to play along.
I mean, I feel like it.
With the seasons. That's the problem. 86 so far today, 89 is the average. we will be above average again for what feels like the 900th day in a row. But thankfully, I don't think we get to the record of 100 set back in 1909. We'll get close, but not quite there. We're still talking excited about those rain chances early next week. We've also got to talk about the tropics, too. More on that coming up.
I don't know. Like, what do you say? It's hot. It's still summer.
So Justin's worried he's going to get a pay cut at this point because he has nothing to do.
No, don't put that idea out there.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Tell you what, though, he showed us that drought monitor. That was some ugly-looking stuff right there, if I may say so.
Really is.
It was, yeah.
But, I go back to the one thing we know about South Texas is we have these drought periods. I remember going through 2011 to 2014, and then 2015 was a big year for rainfall. So what we know is how we come out of these droughts is usually with a lot of rain. It's just not there yet. We're not done yet. We probably got to get late into fall into winter before we start to see some of these pattern shifts. I will tell you, temperatures up across the Northwest are starting to show that fall is emerging. 54 in Boise, 56 Seattle, 56 in Portland. It's cooler up there. Some cool air trying to drop out of Canada. We've got an upper level low starting to take shape, so that starts to feel a little more fall-like. Here in Texas, it is still very summer-like. We're not feeling that yet. Temperatures are in the 80s and 90s. Lubbock, though, 72. A little bit of rain there, so that's cooling temperatures down. But everyone else is seeing the warmer weather. 92 in Houston, 91 Laredo, and 86 here in San Antonio. With the humidity, though, it feels like 91. In Converse, feels like 95. Stinson feels like 95. Port SA feels like 90. With those air temperatures in the upper 80s, close to 90. So it's pretty steamy at the moment. As we go outside, the cloud cover continues to thin out. If you remember when we first looked at this shot just about 45 minutes ago, there were a lot of clouds. Now there are far less. 86, as we said, dew point is at 70 with very light easterly winds. Here's the peak heat index today. So I think we could see heat indices as high as 102 here in town. You'll see heat indices in the upper 90s in the hill country, but a lot of places, especially east of San Antonio, is where you get into those big numbers. 104 is what it could feel like in Gonzales, 105 in Cuero. So this is still sort of dangerous weather in the sense that, it is September and we kind of forget. With heat indices like that, if you spend a lot of time outside, it's not going to be great. Tonight's football games, kickoff, 95. Halftime, it's 90. Sunsets at 7:32. Drink lots of water for everyone that's going to be at those football games. Satellite picture, radar. Yeah, we do have some showers and a few storms up across the Texas Panhandle. That's why it was cooler in Lubbock. Little piece of energy moving east, that's taking the rain with it, but it's just not moving in here. We've got high pressure still kind of in control, and it's pushing everything kind of north of us for now. And I mentioned that upper level low across the Pacific Northwest. This is a nice looking low. And this will bring energy across the country. And this is one of the factors that will help us get some rain chances, I think, by early next week. Here's a look at the future cast. So a few showers tomorrow on the coast, probably nothing here in San Antonio. Saturday, a few showers in central Texas, probably nothing here in San Antonio. But by Sunday, I think we'll start to see a few showers north of town. And then by Monday, that's our best shot at some storms. It's looking a little bit better. We've got a 40% chance of rain in the forecast now for Monday afternoon. Very quickly, let's talk tropics. We've got Nigel moving away, no big deal. Another system along the East Coast that could develop, but it's this one that I want to keep an eye on. It is forecast to become a named storm. The question is, will it curve back out into the Atlantic or will it move into the Caribbean? Chances are it probably moves north, but we'll watch it. We have plenty of time to do so. That'll be the next named system. And then out in the Pacific, we still have Kenneth, but it's looking pretty ragged at this point. That moisture getting drawn up into the southwestern part of the country. And some of that moisture, at least a little bit of that energy, could work its way into Texas as we get into early next week too. Probably doesn't do a lot for us, but interesting that we're starting to see some moisture coming in from the Pacific. 97 Friday, 97 Saturday, 98 Sunday. There's that good chance of rain on Monday, 40% with a high of 95. We'll be right back.
A NASA astronaut has reached an historic milestone by spending an entire year in space.
Frank Rubio rocketed into orbit 365 days ago. He was supposed to be home 6 months ago.
But as CNN's Kristen Fisher explains, there was an issue with his ride home.
and liftoff.
A few weeks before NASA astronaut Frank Rubio launched to the International Space Station with 2 cosmonauts on a Russian Soyuz rocket, I spoke with him about the geopolitical tensions that he'd be leaving behind on Earth.
Did you ever have any second thoughts about flying on a Russian Soyuz in the middle of this conflict with Ukraine?
Again, not really, because I trust my crew wholeheartedly. If anything, right, there's a little bit of nerves about the whole big picture of going to space for the first time, spending 6 months up there.
But 6 months quickly turned into a full year after his ride home. The Soyuz spacecraft was struck by a small object in space, puncturing the Soyuz's radiator and spewing coolant into space.
A stream of particles.
Russia's space agency Roscosmos decided the spacecraft was unsafe and a replacement Soyuz would need to be sent to bring the crew home. For Rubio, who was on his first space flight and had just become the first Salvadoran American to go to space, it meant being away from his wife and 4 children for double the time that he'd been preparing for.
If you had known at the time you launched that you were going to be up in space for a full year instead of 6 months, would you have still done it?
Yeah, hey, Kristen, it's good to talk to you again. I think it would have depended on when I would have found out. Obviously, if they had asked me up front before you start training, because you do train for a year or 2 years for your mission, I probably would have declined, and that's only because of family things that were going on this past year. And had I known that I would have had to miss those very important events, I just would have had to say thank you, but no thank you. But once you commit to the mission, once you're part of the training, I would have been committed to the mission.
By the time Rubio returns to Earth next week, he will have been in space for 371 days, longer than any other American in history. 3 spacewalks, conducted dozens of science experiments, but perhaps the most interesting experiment for this Army doctor turned astronaut is the one that Zero Gravity has been conducting on his own body.
The reality is we're not standing, we're not walking, we're not bearing our own weight, and so it'll be anywhere from 2 to 6 months before I essentially say that I feel normal.
And normal is exactly what Rubio's craving, spending time with his family and time outside these walls on Earth.
Up here we kind of have the constant hum of machinery that's keeping us alive, and so I'm looking forward to just being outside and enjoying the peace and quiet.
Wish him safe travels home. Can you imagine looking out the window and go, we got a leak?
And you can't call the repair guy.
Yeah. 6 months to get here. Sounds like the air conditioning in the summer. They're falling for fall at Market Square today at SA Live.
Hi, Fiona.
Hey there, guys. Yes, our Fall into Fall week continues, and we've got Marilyn Robbins from Lone Star Succulents here. And I love what we're doing with pumpkins, but you use a special moss, right? Tell us why.
You want to use Spanish moss, or a moss that dries out quickly, because anything that retains water will rot the roots of your succulents, so you won't be able to plant them later.
All right, we're going to show you some incredible creations that would make great centerpieces for your fall decor. And we want to know, what is the perfect fall temperature? We want you to weigh in right now. Scan that QR code. Right now, 65 degrees, and I've got to agree with that. But weigh in 50 or below, or 80 or above. And Lisa Morlett from Twang is here, and you just make friends wherever you go.
Hi, I do.
You've got beer salts, right?
Yes, we make friends everywhere we go.
All right, and you're going to show us how to dress a beer.
Yes.
Okay, because this one's feeling a little exposed.
Yes, it is. It is a little exposed. We'll be doing this later.
All right, and the big give is still happening, and we are highlighting one local nonprofit that you can donate to today. And we're taking you into the woods with Wonder Theater and how you and the whole family can still catch the show this weekend. And we love highlighting local San Antonians. And today we step into the ring with San Antonio Boxing Hall of Famer Jesse James Leha. All that and more when SA Live continues in just a few minutes.